Hello viewers, I'm SB, and this is XCOM Chimera Squad. Those of you who are familiar with the previous XCOM games can probably already tell from just this main menu screen here that this is not the usual XCOM fare. They're doing something pretty different in the XCOM universe, and I'm actually really excited about it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about what it is, because I'm sure we're going to see an intro cinematic here that's going to set up the whole thing. So let's just get started. Alright, based on these difficulty descriptions, I'm thinking we're going expert for our first playthrough here. I'm not going to enable Iron Man. We won't reload saves to fix mistakes. We'll try to roll with the consequences of our play. But my experience with Firaxis games in the past has been that they are not always as stable as you might like on release. And I'm real worried that enabling Iron Man will cause us to just lose the whole game to a bad bug or something, which is a thing that I have definitely had happen in previous Firaxis titles. So we'll just keep ourselves honest. I'm not going to turn on hardcore mode. What does this do? Adds 5 levels to the... Okay, so the City Anarchy meter filling up is bad for us. This just makes it longer so that doesn't happen as easily. I'm not too worried about that. We will go ahead and take the tutorial. Subtitles on. Alright, let's go. Let's see it.
Two minutes out.
Hey, Godmother. Is this like the old days? XCOM swooping in and taking it to the bad guys?
I wouldn't know. I spent most of the war training resistance networks.
Like mine. And for your many, long years of service.
Watch it.
XCOM attaches you to an untested squad and pushes it into the field before it's ready. How is this not like the old days?
I'm just happy to be here. I missed out during the war. Wish I could have pulled my weight.
For which side, exactly?
I find that very hurtful.
Sure thing, Advent.
We are through the checkpoint.
I was never actually Advent.
But they were fitting you for a blocky helmet.
Stow it, both of you. We're here. 3-1 PD gave us the all clear. Grab your gear and prepare to move in.
Oh, okay, that was a little bit less setup than I thought we were going to get.
Whisper, what's your status?
And what's Verge's ETA?
Comms are working, obviously. Verge is en route.
How? Verge can't drive.
He hailed the cap.
To a hostage situation?
Focus. Whisper, any surprises in the next room?
A handful of hostiles, unaware of your approach.
Chimera Squad, take positions. Prep for breach.
And we are entering breach mode. Chimera Squad begins every mission by setting up at breach points to get the jump on enemies. Preview the enemy presence at each breach point, and the modifiers that will be applied, then assign agents to the available slots to determine the order they will enter the fight. So as you can tell, this is happening at a very different scale than the previous XCOM games. This is more the story of some things happening in a city over a short period of time rather than a massive globe-spanning conflict, and as such, we have a very different style of narrative delivery, a different style of character stuff. Like they're handing us pre-made personalities. Like I said, I'm pretty excited to see a new kind of thing happening in this setting. So who do we want to go in for? I don't actually know anything about our agents, except I guess we know Terminal's a technician. We saw her with one of those drones, right? So she's probably not so much a frontline fighter. You are at the top of the list, so you get to go in first. And then, yeah, we'll just do them in the order. They're probably listed in this order for a reason, right? So what is this his class here? Like, he's a breach guy, and then these two are both just shooters? Okay, successful shots on enemies will crit.
Breaching in.
Alright, so while we're in breach mode here, cycle through available targets and use the selected ability with enter, and the only ability we have available to us is shoot them. Well, let's go for the guy who looks like he might have cover after breach mode is over first. Surprised enemies receive a defense penalty and won't react during the breach sequence. So you can see down here we have calculators for our hit and crit chance. This is very much XCOM 2 in the UI. Yeah, just go ahead and paste it. Alright, so it turns out it didn't really matter how we ordered that, because we were going to get them all anyway.
I am Mayor Nightingale.
Is that our hostage?
Welcome to City 31's Memorial Museum.
It's just a recording.
As I often say, the lessons from our past Inform the present.
Blah, blah, blah. History.
Focus.
Okay. Agents and enemies take their turns one at a time. You can see we have a turn order timeline up here in the corner. Agents have 2 action points each turn to use for movement, shooting, and abilities. Look for blue shields to move into cover. This is very XCOM 2. Or move out to flank enemies for a better chance to hit. What happens if we click more info here? Okay, it's going to give us a level of detail that we don't need as people who played XCOM. And if you did not play XCOM, like, don't worry, I'll explain what I'm doing. This will all make sense to you. You will not be left behind. Okay, so camera is apparently very sensitive. We might want to turn that down a little bit. So it looks like we can get a pretty easy shot on the dude who's going fourth. Like, he's very... Actually, is he flanked from where we are right now? No, we don't have vision right now. Let's step up to the cover, right?
Okay, I'm moving.
Although I'm wondering, maybe this guy doesn't need to be in cover so much, because he might, his shield might confer cover. That might be how that works. Well, in any case, I think we've got a pretty clean shot on this dude. So not as big of a chance, not as big of a crit chance from flanking as I would have imagined. You know what, we got there. It's all fine. Alright, so how are we gonna hit... I guess we have cover. Or we have a reasonable move here. We can't quite get around to a flanking angle from this side. Yeah, this seems fine.
Cover me.
We're still going to be shooting through his half cover there, so I'm assuming our hit chance is not going to be awesome. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, she has a shotgun. That's probably part of it. Ooh, not a great start. Alright, we got to try to apply a little bit of pressure here. You know what I think I'm going to do? We're just going to move up to this spot. Because we'll be able to get a real easy run-up and flank on him next turn. Although maybe we won't even need it.
You see this?
Huh. Interesting.
Contact!
Clear.
Verge? What took you so long?
Had to unpack a breaching charge.
Good man.
Not exactly.
You know what I mean.
I always do.
So creepy. Don't ever change.
Verge, form up. Any hostiles in the next room?
Yes, I can feel them.
So there's like a very pulp comic book tone going on here, which is certainly different than the way XCOM felt, the previous games. Alright, some encounters offer more than one breach point with different risks and benefits. Consider whether to split the squad or send them all through the same location. Agents entering from the same breach point will enter the encounter together and be closer in the timeline. Well, that's interesting. The order the breach points will enter is shown next to the name and can be changed using the arrows. So at the main door, agent damage is likely. This is the main door, or... alright. If agent damage is likely, let's send Cherub through here. Right? I think that makes sense. And then somebody should back him up, given that there are only 4 slots between the 2 doors. Let's have him and Godmother go in together. They're sort of our close-range people. And then... Terminal and... Verge's deal is he's psionic, obviously. I mean, he's a sectoid, right? So this is part of... You're getting part of what's going on here. Part of the reason they're called Chimera Squad is because some things have changed here on the ground in the 5 years since the big war. Last unit through this entrance does +3 damage. I mean, I think this is fine. So this is not an indicator of the person's class. This is an indicator of who's the one at that entrance doing the breaching.
Stay behind me.
Open sesame.
Alright, so what do we have? We have 5 targets immediately visible. Aggressive enemies will shoot at XCOM if they aren't neutralized immediately. Okay. And we don't have that free crit this time. So that's interesting. We probably want Godmother to go after that guy then. Let's paste this guy, because that's easy enough to do. I want Godmother with the shotgun, taking this guy on. Okay, and then you up there. Is everybody else surprised? Oh no, that guy is looking right at us as we come through the door. So alert is just the basic. You auto crit on surprise people, alert people you don't get that bonus on, and aggressive people will actually just shoot you. We could cover rush, but I think between the two of us we could probably get this guy, right? The math is real good in our favor. And since he's dealt with, let's shoot the guy we're likely to hit. Feels like a pretty big advantage. This guy's in bad shape. So each agent has a unique ability they can use every turn, eventually gaining more from their class and equipment. Most agents also have Subdue, a non-lethal attack that is low damage but guaranteed to hit. Use it to earn additional rewards and for certain objectives. Cherub uses the Charged Bash ability instead of Subdue. Well, it sure sounds like they want me to use the Charged Bash ability. So he runs up, he consumes all charge. If charge is consumed, deal damage in a cone behind the enemy. So, charge. Okay, he has a charge resource here, it looks like. This is only going to do 3 damage. You know what? Maybe we should just paste him. We should probably, get to cover. Also, I don't usually say paste him this often. I don't know what's going on with me. You ever get that thing where, a word or a phrase just gets completely stuck in your head? Alright, well, we can run up here and get a flank. I mean, obviously, the downside of this is that if this doesn't actually get him, she's way in the open. But we have 2 shots at this. Because Terminal gets a turn before he does too. The fact that he's in defense mode, even though we have the flank on him, still is reducing our hit chance pretty significantly here. Yep, that's embarrassing. Alright, well, she's going to be in a little bit of trouble if we can't put this together. Let's see if elevation confers an aim bonus the way it does in normal XCOM. Yes, it does, a pretty considerable one. Still, not that high of a chance to hit here, and even if we do hit, we're not guaranteed to get a kill. So the Gremlin heals people and cleanses effects off of them, and grants 20 defense. Okay, that's interesting. We're probably not going to bother safeguarding. Not when we could just try to end this. Ooh, not good.
Rolling.
Way below expected value there on all that shooting. Alright, fortunately this guy's not too bright in terms of targeting choices. I mean, we probably just stay up here, right? He has high cover from us. I don't know. It sure doesn't look like it. If we move over a little bit, I'm sure we can negate that, right? He has high cover because we were on this side of the thing he's pressed up against, I guess. But it is a little silly that counted as cover from that angle. Okay, easy. So far. I mean, it is still the tutorial.
Set up the breaching charge.
I do like to make an entrance.
Alright, some breach points can only be accessed with special equipment or abilities. Once an agent with the required asset is in the first slot, other agents can then be assigned. Okay, so we only have one guy who has a breaching charge. And then I do like Godmother through second. We'll do it like this.
Wait, hold. Hostage confirmed in the next room.
We need more than that.
3-1 PD has a live feed. Patching through.
If you surrender, I will advocate leniency.
Enough. This exhibit, it is about XCOM's role in our liberation.
I see you read the placard.
It doesn't say how they went soft and got weak. Now, it's up to us to light the spark.
He's holding a detonator.
Go, now!
How's this for an entrance?
Okay, hey, where's the guy with the detonator? It feels like he should be the one we go after first, right? Let's... We got some cover. Alright, well, I guess let's start with the guys who are standing in the open. Now, Godmother should have a slightly better chance of hitting the close cover dudes. Let's try to open up this side of the room so that it's safer for us to be over here. Okay, I like that. And then we just try to clean up a guy or two as we run through. Do I want to... I mean, we may as well try to take this guy down, because there's a small chance that even if we hit him, we're not going to finish him off. Let's make sure we know whether he's down before we make our final choice here. Alright, that's not a bad start.
You're a Nightingale. I'll protect you.
Engaging. Cherub is
Ooh,
down.
wow.
Terminal, stabilize him.
On it.
Verge, with me. Protect the mayor.
Confirmed.
That was a lot of damage. Obviously, just tutorial stuff so that we can see the bleed out system. Agents that lose their HP will begin bleeding out. The mission will fail unless the agent bleeding out is saved with stabilize or the encounter is completed before the timer expires. Alright, so we got 3 turns. Well, it's hard for me to imagine that they don't want me to, I know, use the stabilize ability, but Godmother has the shotgun, right? We should do this thing with the shotgun, and then we'll worry about the stabilizing.
Shifting.
Somebody else can stabilize her. It's fine. We got 3 turns. So that's 100%. 100 feels pretty good. I think we probably ought to take the 100. Alright, so what do you have? You have Stupor, which stuns them and adds them to the neural network. And then Battle Madness makes the enemy go berserk and attack a nearby target and adds them to the neural network. So it seems like each agent is going to have a couple of like unique mechanics or resources. Maybe here. Let's try a psionic thing. Let's put someone into a stupor. Can we? Here, let me try to move to a place where I can see the other guy. Well, maybe I should probably stupor this guy because his turn is sooner. Now, you know what? Verge is the one who should stabilize. Yeah, she only has 2 turns left. This is the time to do the thing. It's a little bit awkward. We don't really have a cover position to do this from. Okay, I thought that was going to be 1 action to move and then 1 action to stabilize. I like the fact that we can get back in cover here. Alright, well that could have been a lot worse. This guy's easy enough to flank.
Moving. Cover me.
Go.
Does this automatically stabilize people? No, it doesn't say that it does. Okay.
Heading there.
Well, that's not great for us. Oh, hey, that's the hostage. Right, we're supposed to be making sure that thing that he's trying to do there doesn't happen. Oh, he can fire and overwatch. Well, we should probably try to use the subdue mechanic at some point here during the thing. But we know it's not going to do enough damage in 1 hit. We can have Verge and Godmother work together to subdue this guy, just so that we have subdued someone. I feel like they want us to use it, right?
Hostiles still up.
Hostile is under arrest.
Also, we're the police, effectively, so we're not supposed to be just murdering everyone. And I know your experience may vary depending on where in the world you are. Trust me, I'm familiar. I'm from America, but we're going to try to be like a good version of the police. Sometimes the hostage gets shot a little bit, you know? These things happen. This guy... Subduing this guy is going to get us injured, but also... Actually, he's not got Overwatch on this location, right?
Hostile subdued.
Ooh, wow, she really hit him.
Are you alright?
It looks worse than it is. Those medikits are really something.
Compliment accepted.
What about Cherub?
Yeah, I think so. Only thing injured is my pride.
And your diaphragm. And a few ribs.
None of this should have happened.
Most people say thank you.
I'm grateful, of course. But these people don't have the capability for any of this.
Explain.
I read their threat assessment. A month ago, these insurgents were all talk and no capability. The greatest threat they posed was to bottles of alcohol.
Why tell us? Why now?
City 31 shows the world how humans, hybrids, and aliens can keep a lasting peace. I'm the public face of this. Tonight, someone wanted what I represent to go up in flames.
We're not in town for local intrigue.
I know, but right now you're the only ones I'm certain are fighting for that same peace. Can I count on your support?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, head back to base. We're going to need to debrief, but that gives you an idea of what this game is about. Like I said, I'm really interested to see them try to do something different in this space, and I like that it's a story about basically, like, helping to resettle the refugees of the alien war and try to, like, make everybody realize that we can all live together. So from 2 captured enemies, a 40% chance to earn 20 intel. Rating, fine. You got one of your agents ventilated, but fine.
Package delivered to 31 PD.
She truly believes what she says.
That's why she's in charge.
Not too shabby for our first official mission.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Celebrate before a mission is complete. It's
bad luck.
I mean, that said, you know, it's unlikely to have caused the explosion.
Tonight, Mayor Nightingale perished in an explosion at City 31's Memorial Museum. The identity of her assailants is unknown at this time. The City Council asks citizens to remain...
So she gets vaporized the same day XCOM sends Chimera Squad to our city? You hear that voice in your head? That's me telling you to wake up!
Despite opposition, Mayor Nightingale's deciding vote brought the Reclamation Agency to the city. Without her support, Chimera Squad's continued presence is an open question.
Welcome home, Chimera Squad. The director wants to speak with us.
Thanks for getting the mayor killed. Also, you're fired.
That's not helpful.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I'll patch the call through when you're ready.
I followed your action at the museum, and its aftermath.
Director Kelly, I take full responsibility for what happened.
Stop. I sent you to City 31 because I believed you were ready. Tonight, you surpassed my expectations. 31 PD requested help within 3 hours of your arrival in the city. You answered immediately. Going in, you were under-equipped and down an agent. You adapted, as we trained you to do. And let's not forget, you rescued the mayor. You delivered her to safety as the city requested. Don't blame yourself for an outcome you couldn't control. Instead, let's focus on what's next.
I set up the map table. Ready when you are.
Head over there. I'll hold.
Alright, there is a critical target awaiting us.
Welcome to City 31. During Advent's occupation, the city was a fortress supporting an active starport. 5 years after XCOM won the war, it's home to aliens, hybrids, and humans alike. There's new industry, self-government, and local agriculture to support the varied populations. Against all odds, this city thrived after the war. There were no retributive attacks.
Until tonight.
We don't know that. Not yet. But we can find out. 31 PD requested our help sifting through evidence at the Memorial Museum. They lost good officers today. Give them what they need and see what we can learn.
So this map is where we see the status of City 31 and any current targets we can send our squad to respond to. Chimera Squad can respond to 1 target per day, after which the day advances. Alright, well, let's look at this situation here that we are largely responsible for. 31 PD needs help pouring through the aftermath of tonight's attack. Mayor Nightingale's death has the city on edge. Let's try to calm things down. There's definitely something to be said. There's probably a couple of video essays in the fact that even a game that Firaxis makes that's about, you know, resettling refugees and helping people and unifying populations, your major verb is still shoot with gun. But listen, they're trying. This is a step in a different direction. Let's at least give them that. Sending the APC to resolve this situation will advance the day. I think we are ready to proceed.
Your work with 31 PD opened a few doors. Here's what we know. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance.
Choose a faction to be the investigation target. The faction cannot be changed until it's resolved. The progeny is a loose network of human scions. Their vision for City 31's future is entirely psionic. What is that? Does that mean the death of everyone who's not psionic, who's not gifted? Or I wonder exactly how they intend to achieve that. Grey Phoenix is an organization of alien scavengers which has quietly amassed the kind of weaponry that Reclamation is mandated to recover. Or here we have the Sacred Coil, an underground religious movement for hybrids. They preach salvation, but only to those who once fought XCOM. Yo, that's, okay. I get that the whole story is about how the aliens are not exactly the thing they seemed to be to us during the XCOM games, but do chrysalids have... I thought chrysalids were like animal intelligences. I mean, okay, let's not judge just yet, I guess. Grey Phoenix seems to make the most sense to me. You know, if their whole deal is putting together weaponry.
Grey Phoenix is a group of primarily muton scavengers operating in the city. Recently, they've armed themselves with highly restricted weaponry. That puts them on our radar.
Director, these are local criminals. Isn't that 31PD's jurisdiction?
True. The Reclamation Agency supports local police, but we're also required to recover dangerous material.
From those who would do the world harm, and each of those groups is neck deep in the stuff. So what next?
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly. The city wants justice for Mayor Nightingale. This is how we help them achieve it.
So every investigation has 3 stages. Groundwork. From this first mission, learn about the factions and their methods. Then operations, hidden missions that must be revealed and completed to knock out the faction's main plans. And then finally, a takedown. So we need to know more about Grey Phoenix before we can proceed with our investigation. Grey Phoenix leadership have exceptional technical capabilities. Their extensive local connections suggest time in City 31 before the war. Okay. What am I to... Nothing, I guess, at this point.
Check it out. Headquarters sent us an assembly. And with the right patterns, we can build anything. Or we could with the latest version. What you're looking at is the extremely finicky 2038 model. It'll take time to stress test our patterns, but once we have them, we're good to go.
Okay. Each project can unlock new items for XCOM supply, new weapon or armor upgrades, or a variety of other useful things. Agents assigned here decrease the time it takes to complete a thing. Illyrium is one of the 3 resources Reclamation requires. It is spent to complete projects in the assembly. So, we only have 1 project right now. Costs 10 Illyrium in 2 days, I'm assuming. The basic unit of time is a day. And we get a cool robot. Alright, I'm all about cool robots. Okay, so that's in progress. Yeah. Who do we want? Do we want to put somebody on it? Because we kind of want to roll into the next mission with a full squad, right? That's probably good enough. Alright, you can now select an agent to add to your squad. The armory is where you manage your agents, their loadouts, their abilities. We'll level them up with XP, learn more about the agents' backgrounds, and also change the colors on their uniform. Okay.
The director convinced the city council we're too understaffed to be effective. This means we can bring more agents to City 31. It's not the whole squad, not yet, but it's something.
Okay, well, I do immediately see an explosives guy, and if you know anything about the way that I usually play XCOM, it is very explosives heavy. So we can pick up another psionic. Zephyr is... Agent punches an enemy and inflicts status effects. Interesting. Like just a totally melee agent. Actually, that's kind of compelling. I like a good explosion, don't get me wrong. but I don't play with a lot of melee units in these games. Let's give this a try.
Zephyr, you made it!
Yeah.
You grab a locker?
Yep.
Have everything you need?
Yeah.
Good talk.
No.
Nar. Listen, she doesn't words real good. We didn't hire her for words. So I'm assuming that we're not gonna have a lot of equipment choices here. We don't have any breach items or utility items. Okay, fair enough. So we'll have a look at everybody's backstories and stuff eventually. I have a question. There's a critical combat mission available. Okay, we are definitely going to check this out. Am I allowed to bring more than 4 agents to one of these things? Credits are one of the 3 resources Reclamation requires. They are spent in supply to both buy new items and upgrade existing ones. Okay, so this is we're going to get 35 credits here. Because here's the thing, if we're only allowed to bring 4 agents on this thing, we should probably go back and assign one of them to the robot table. You know what? Let's not worry about it too much. We're just going to hit send APC. 1 or more agents is idle. Okay, so wait, is she not... Okay, yeah, we have 4 agents who've been sort of assigned to the team. So let's jump back down to... Wait, how do we... Okay, here we go. Who do we want to take a seat? You know, honestly, maybe Terminal? Listen, I'm not saying the healing abilities are bad or anything. I'm just saying, what if we defeated all the enemies before any of us got shot? Then we wouldn't even need any healing. Alright, she'll speed that up. There we go. That's how we want to run that. Alright, let's do it.
Say a hostile force has access to a dangerous device, but destroying it would cause harm to you or others. In that case, finesse is the better option. Approach the device and disable it, just as you were trained.
Okay, we don't have any other equipment or anything, so yeah, let's just get to it. You know what I should have done? I should have looked at Cherub's profile.
A short while ago, Grey Phoenix engaged unknown assailants at this location. After the shooting stopped, Grey Phoenix locked down the whole block.
I sense desperation and fear.
About our arrival?
No. We do not concern them.
Well, that's not great. But I was gonna say, I don't actually know how that shield works. Like, if it conveys like half cover on him no matter what. It would be good to actually know how my units work. That's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Godmother, second in the door, then Zephyr, then Verge.
Stay behind me.
Okay, we got a Muton. Not totally ideal, given, you know, the toughness. Ooh, Snake. Well, I think... Let's have the pistol shot go off at the Snake. This is the only one that there's a chance it will actually take down. Alright, 3's fine. 3's a good start. That was only 5? Okay, so Fearless Advance. Melee attack them after the breach. Does the melee attack do lethal damage, or will it be a subdue? Okay, so attack them with a melee strike. Zephyr will start the encounter adjacent to the enemy. It doesn't actually say that it does damage, right? Like, we're not seeing any flashing health here. Alright. Maybe this is unwise, but go over here and do this. Let's see exactly how this works. And then you should probably just finish this guy off. Oh wow, yeah, okay. That is a serious attack. Once per mission, an agent can be moved on the timeline so they take the next turn. This ability is shared by the entire squad. Oh, that's pretty powerful. And preparation grants a defensive bonus and moves the agent's next turn earlier in the timeline. Use this when an agent is caught in a dangerous situation or to coordinate. Okay. So we do not like civilian casualties. Not a big surprise. So Cherub's up first, and then it's the Adder. That's a real shame. this turn order thing didn't work out the way we wanted it to. Okay, so I want to pull either Verge or Godmother up in the turn order. Target unimpaired ally. So does this have a maximum range, or... No, it looks like I can just hit anybody with it. Okay, let's have it be Verge, because Godmother's already pretty early in the turn order. And this way Verge can go over and subdue the adder right away. And this does not give us much of a shot on that Legionnaire. You know, honestly, it's not as bad as I was thinking it might be. It's still not good, though. Alright, we're going to move around over here, and I'm thinking... Place an energy shield on self or ally to prevent all the damage of the next attack. I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be able to just put this guy down. Well, maybe. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to go for it. So I'm thinking before his turn, we have Godmother and Zephyr. Probably both of whom are going to be a little bit better at hitting him. But yeah, let's get this done.
Hostile is under arrest.
Okay. Arrest good. Murder less good. Let's try to do arrest when we can. 57%. I mean, I can't even really just run out into a flanking position, but we can get close and rely on the shotgun's natural closeness benefit. I mean, we're just shooting over a toy rack here. This should work, right? Let's do it from right here, because I'm a little bit harder to flank here.
Hostiles are aware.
80%. That's not bad. Okay, and that is exactly what we were looking for.
Hostile subdued.
Those are some pretty cool boots.
I'm getting a strong source of Illyrium in your vicinity. I can't pinpoint a location.
Well, maybe it's behind the only door we haven't opened. Okay, so there's a charge entrance on this wall, or we could just go through... Well, obviously we want to use the wall. So the first unit through the entrance gets +1 armor for the entire encounter. That seems pretty good. And then the question is, do we want everybody to go through the same thing, or do we want to have the ability to flank? I'm going to actually send... So the last unit through the main door will get snared. I'm wondering if we should have maybe have Verge eat the snare so that Godmother can get a flank with the shotgun. Because Verge can probably still do his thing from a distance, right?
How's this for an entrance?
And I do like hitting from multiple sides. Okay, so we have spooked a couple of them. There's one who's alert, but maybe will be easier for the other team to deal with. I think we're probably shooting at that adder. Oh wow, that is a hell of a shot. And then we can fearless advance on this guy. I hit details here. What is this? Oh, sorry. We're already in details mode. Well, this is gonna put her in kind of a dangerous position. But it'll probably get that Legionnaire low enough that he's easy to arrest afterward. Okay, so there's another Legionnaire back there. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah, I'm pretty nervous about all these adders. Ooh, not too happy about 3. .40 dodge. Ugh. Okay, so he can't move, but he is still in cover. He's fine. Everything's fine. So which adder is this? Okay, it's the one that's right behind that. Definitely has an angle on everybody. Can trivially get a flank on Godmother. So, dude's a pretty high priority. Can I kinetic shield an ally that I don't have vision of? No. So that's a little tricky. And unfortunately, we don't get line of sight previews on our own units. So I'm not going to know where I can get that set off for. That's a shame, because I'd really like to kinetic shield Godmother here. I mean, I might... No, I definitely don't have vision of her from here. Alright, well... Charged Bash does a guaranteed 3 damage on this guy. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to leave this guy, leave Cherub kind of in the open in the hope that he'll draw the fire a little bit. He's tough, right? Oof. Well, that could have been a lot worse. So we can probably just arrest this adder pretty easily. Obviously, this is a problem. So Crippling Blow does 4 to 5 damage, would be guaranteed to kill. That guy goes after Godmother's turn. It's a shame that Verge is after the Muton, because I'd love to have him just do a stupor here. So this can confer stun potentially, but we can't rely on that. We still might go for it, honestly. Because we'll have plenty of time before the adder's next turn. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna run in. Shouldn't block the doorway. Yeah, let's hope that we get one of the good status effects. Okay, weapon disabled is probably a pretty good one. And then we have a momentum move. It's an additional move action after using Crippling Blow. Okay, probably like run all the way back out to here.
Transferring.
And we just want to make sure we put some distance on him, right? Because otherwise he's gonna run up and punch me in half. And then we'll just throw a pair of subdues on this adder. I did not mean to step out of cover there. It's a little bit of a failure of... Uh-oh. You know, I would have thought a man wouldn't be able to do a thing like that with such a subdued or with a disabled weapon. Oh, I was kind of hoping Verge was going to be able to see that dude through the, be able to see that guy through the open door. Well, that being the case, why don't you just prepare? So move you earlier on the timeline. Because, like, right now, he can't do anything except put that adder down, which I don't want him to do. Alright, each time damage is blocked with a kinetic shield, he gains charge. Higher charge increases the damage of Charge Bash. Seems like a mechanic that'll be fun to play with. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have him just block for Godmother here. Alright, and then Zephyr's got the subdue. Right, easy.
Subdued hostile.
I mean, it's still a lot of violence, but it's non-lethal violence. It's a step in the right direction.
A massive Illyrium core in the next room. It's losing stability fast. Secure and contain that core before it takes out the whole block.
Unstable cores are quite explosive. I speak from experience.
Okay. I want to hear more about that later. Also, you're Australian? I guess she's not an alien, right? She's one of the Advent hybrids. Okay, agent damage is likely pretty much no matter how we do this, but non-aggressive enemies guarding the explosive entrance will be surprised. Enemies deal 1 less damage during the breach. Oh, we only have the 1 charge, right? I already used that ability. I guess we're going through the front door. Let's maybe have Zephyr go second this time.
Reaching in.
And one of these days, we're going to use one of Verge's psionic abilities, I swear. Okay, well that adder's a very high priority. Ooh, Python. Okay, multiple types of snake people. Well, I guess let's start with the adder, because obviously the adder's got to get dealt with. You should fearless advance. Yeah, probably this guy. And then we have an alert muton and a surprise muton that not everybody can see. Let's... Okay, that's a pretty good start. It might be the case that I'm overdoing it a little bit on the trying to arrest rather than kill people thing, but if it's going to give us, like, extra resources for capturing them and stuff, it seems like a thing that's worth pursuing. So, at the risk of maybe taking some extra damage here, I'm going to leave that dude alive. We're going to take the bad shot over here. Because I really don't want to kill that Legionnaire.
I move.
I see the target. Turn it off.
Okay, Cherub, you are too far away for the thing I wanted you to do. That said, you do have this available to you. Based on the health levels, the health of our agents, and the damage we've seen the enemies do so far, it seems like it's going to be a lot more forgiving than XCOM in terms of the number of times you can let your guys get attacked successfully. I think we're going to throw a crippling blow on this guy, and again, just kind of hope for the best in terms of debuffs.
Fracturing.
Okay, weapon disabled. Maybe a good thing. Doesn't quite mean what we thought it meant, obviously, but it's probably useful. So that guy's going to get subdued on Godmother's turn. We do have this dude in here. We're just going to disregard him for the moment, I think. Let's have Zephyr stay near the door, though. Alright, he's just undisabling his weapon and then shooting me. Here we have a real easy subdue. Unfortunately, it does kind of leave us in the open, but
Arrested the target.
we can at least be further away from the door. Ooh. Well, here's where I wish that I had the healing drone. Alright, Verge, I think this might be a good time to put that guy into a stupor. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because there's no way he makes it through the turn anyway. Probably don't want to shoot him, though. Yeah, let's just take this subdue now.
Subdued the hostile.
Alright, now unfortunately, Cherub doesn't really have a way of dealing with the poison, right? So... prevents all damage to the next attack. Yeah, it's, as you might imagine, kinetic shield not too effective against poisons that you have already been hit with. So, I mean, this adder's not going to get a turn. There's not really a lot of sense in worrying about this other thing. Just cross him up real quick, and then obviously
Let me try again.
Finish the job here.
Hostile subdued.
Okay, now we just need somebody to get to that Elerium core before we all die of poison.
I can make it there.
Alright, press the button. Whatever the button is on it. I'm a little worried about the 0% that I'm seeing here.
Finally. Don't need to hold back with this one.
That guy has a badass facial tattoo. You know that's going to be a problem. Okay, that has probably solved the problem right there. Yep, we'll handle it. You could maybe take a moment and just stabilize him? There you go, Zephyr. You'll be fine. And then I actually still have the movement necessary to crippling blow and then get my momentum move back out of there. Zephyr seems real powerful. I'm very, very pleased to have acquired her. Also, we learned that multiple stuns just stack their duration, which seems really powerful. From 10 captured enemies, you have guaranteed earned 20 intel. Not so great about Cherub, though. I definitely need to be, like, a little bit more careful. Alright, so 35 credits, 20 intel, and we got an android.
Grey Phoenix is after large quantities of Illyrium. Why do they need that much power? Illyrium access would allow them to refine an explosive powerful enough to kill Mayor Nightingale. Grey Phoenix has the means. Find out if they had the motive.
Alright, so we know they can quickly move personnel throughout City 31. Once we learn how, we'll know how to wall them off. Okay, makes sense, I guess. So you can see there will be dark events eventually. Let's visit the Spec Ops area.
I'm authorizing Chimera Squad for special operations. Some ops provide useful resources for the squad. Keep an eye out for these opportunities.
So they can improve unrest, gain resources, or reward temporary advantages. We can go out and meet people, provide some funding in our time of crisis here, go out and do some legwork, get some intel, or we could get ourselves some Illyrium. Unfortunately, we don't really know the relative value of these things. Intel seems important. I mean, do we have an agent who we could spare? Am I allowed to do another recruit? Looks like no. But what is this? If an agent was badly hurt in combat, they can receive a scar. Scars hurt an agent's core stats. The effects are permanent until the agent completes training to heal them. Okay, so don't do the thing you just did. Mobility reduced by 3. That's okay. It's not ideal. Do we have access to the training thing that I would need to train that off? It looks like maybe no. We also got an android. These versatile soldiers are valuable backups to your main squad agents. On any mission where one of your agents is evacuated, an android can take their place for the remaining encounters. Okay, so if we have to have somebody pulled out in between those little sub-fights. Okay. Well, it does seem like it's a good idea to have one then. Let's tint his armor. Make it red. What's a color that says I'm here to help? Yeah, that's okay, I guess. They don't really have a good orange, unfortunately. Alright, so we have our armory. That's just this area down here.
Our temporary field office has all the basics. Weapons, comms, and ammunition. Supply is where we request everything else. And as long as it's in the squad's budget, it's ours.
Okay, so items you unlock from assembly projects become permanently available here.
You can get a sweet deal on combat-grade androids. I know. Everyone hates them.
Well, it seems like we probably don't need to have a whole lot of androids available, and I certainly don't want to spend 150 supplies on one. Or credits, rather. Grants breach access through a security door. We get a whole bunch of extra charges and grenades. A ceasefire grenade disables all firearms in a large radius. Okay, that's, with Zephyr, that is definitely less of a problem for us than it is for all of our enemies. Flashbangs, disorient, friendly units are always unaffected. Hey, that's pretty handy. Medikits, remove burning acid and poison. It feels like we should have at least one medikit, right? Tracer rounds give +5 aim. Tranq rounds let you knock people out with bullets. Hey, that's pretty good. Feels like +5 aim is quite significant, though. Let's grab a flashbang as well. If it's not going to affect my own units at all, it seems incredibly powerful. And then this thing giving us access to new avenues into a fight also seems like a pretty big deal. And then sadly the tracer rounds are out of our price range from there. Let's get another maybe a smoke, or Maybe I should just sit on the rest of the money until we really know what we're doing. Alright, so what do we want to do here at the assembly area? We could build up modular weapons, so we'll be able to install weapon mods. Modular armor seems like a good idea. You know, for the moment, our weapons are getting the job done. Let's have a look at armor. And then, can we put Cherub on this? Yeah, here his lack of mobility won't matter. So there are a variety of kinds of mission targets. Investigations in purple, side in yellow, optional but provide valuable rewards, and emergency in red, showing up in districts with unrest problems.
We know Grey Phoenix can quickly move personnel throughout City 31. Once you learn how, we'll know how to wall them off.
Okay, so purple missions are main plot, yellow missions are side stuff that can get you various rewards. Hold on, I definitely want to make sure I remember to do this. And then it's going to be Godmother and Zephyr leading breaches from now on.
Chimera Squad. I'm Commissioner Maloof of 31 PD. To be blunt, I don't give a chrysalis ass about the politics. I'm glad you're in the city. 31 PD was stretched thin before the mayor's death. There are gaps to fill, and that's where you come in. When your agents can handle a situation better than my officers, I'll send the details your way. If the city council has a problem with that, I'll take the heat. They can't afford to fire me. I look forward to working with you.
Do chrysalids have asses? I mean, I know they have like a back part, but it's not really the same, physiologically speaking. And you know what? Let's not worry about that too much. Okay, so that symbol is a weapon mod. This would get us a stock. And I'm assuming that what we're being told here is that all the areas we don't do missions in will gain 2 unrest. Grey Phoenix abducted the sibling of a local newscaster. Looks like they want to influence public perception in their favor. Let's bring that hostage home safe so the newscaster can speak her mind about Grey Phoenix. You know what? Let's do a side mission here. So this one is just Illyrium. And I still don't really have a good sense of what we need the Illyrium for. I'm assuming, you know... Okay, research. Research costs Illyrium. Yeah. Then we probably want to make sure we have an ample supply, right? I think that makes sense. Let's get ourselves some Illyrium. Our opposition took a hostage when they realized 31 PD had them surrounded. We need to move in before this turns into a bloodbath. And we also need to not make it a bloodbath ourselves. Okay, that's totally what we're going to do. But I'm realizing I should probably, like... you know, we can equip our agents from the APC screen, can't we? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it that way.
Reclamation training spent a lot of time on hostage situations, so you know how it goes. Focus on any hostile who threatens your VIP, and get them to safety as soon as you can.
Okay, let's give the flashbang to you. Does that make sense? So I don't want to give it to Verge. We don't want all the disabling stuff on the same person, right? In case that person goes down, or in case we need to do multiple disables. For the same reason, we don't want you to have the heal. I think I'm going to give Verge the medikit. Okay. So we don't have a breaching charge. We spent our breaching charge. I'm not going to... Do we want to just go and buy another one? They do seem useful. You know what? Let's do that. I'm gonna give you the breaching charge then, because you're the one who we want through the door first on those dangerous operations, and then Terminal can take the key card. Because I think Terminal's fairly unlikely to get wounded. She's probably gonna be away from the action a lot. Okay, let's do it like this.
Friendly VIP ahead. Check your fire.
Alright, don't accidentally kill the civilian. Got it. Agent damage, likely. 6 enemies. Units entering here get plus 25 aim, and the first unit is guaranteed to land their shot. Well, we're definitely going Godmother first then. Let's have Zephyr in second, then Verge, then Terminal.
Breaching!
Alright, what are we looking at? We have a guy with a shield. Seems dangerous. Maybe a good use of our guaranteed hit. A Legionnaire, another Legionnaire. This is definitely dangerous. Okay, well... Adders are certainly a problem. I'm really worried that we're going to have a hard time hitting this guy with him having a shield and everything after the breach, though. So let's take this now. Alright, that puts him in a place where it's at least possible that we could just subdue him. I'm wondering, though, if we should just fearless advance him and make sure we finish him off right now. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so he's under control. And we're going to... Yeah, I think let's sink the adder if we can. And then you can just shoot somebody. Pretty much anybody. That trooper's not a super high priority. Let's work on this guy over here. Okay, extremely subduable. Ow. Right, aggressive. Did not cope with the aggressive. Oh, I was really hoping that that was going to be a kill. Alright, it's fine.
That's the VIP. You are go for rescue.
He is not in my favorite position ever. A lot further, a lot more in the middle of all of the enemies than I was hoping. Well... So that Bruiser is next, and then the Legionnaire... This Legionnaire right here. I mean, we could pull the team up now. So we could eliminate the Bruiser and Legionnaire 5 before Legionnaire 5 gets a turn. We could take the Bruiser down right now. I'm wondering if we like pull Verge up with the team up so that he can stun somebody. I think I'm going to do that. This is a dangerous enough situation that I think it's worth spending this ability now. Alright, and then I am going to have her go for the subdue. We want to hit this guy. It's a little bit of a bummer that Zephyr is standing exactly where I want to be standing for this.
Arrested the target.
God, man. XCOM punches people real hard. Sorry, Chimera Squad. We're definitely legally distinct from XCOM. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this guy into a stupor. We could try the combat berserk mode thing. But I think I'm just gonna stupor this guy.
My mind over yours.
Alright, so we have now added him to our neural network. And we can still attack. Man, that's pretty powerful. I do wish that I had a slightly better shot. We could still do the berserking thing, actually. Could battle madness, like... Yeah, let's go battle madness on this trooper over here.
Go on. Lash out.
Keep the focus on them.
Hopefully that'll be useful.
Expunging target.
Oh, did I unstun him by... I guess I must have. Well, that's not ideal. So if we... I think I want to be here when I do this.
Subdued hostile.
Because I mean, that guy was going to be able to get a flank on me no matter how I did this.
Head down and move.
Fortunately, he does not have a very big gun.
Disabling target weapon.
Alright, so next up is this trooper who is presumably just going to keep doing the thing he's doing here. So... We just take kind of a bad shot. That guy has cover from a lot of angles, though. Could move to here, which gives me at least a little bit better cover against this other enemy. I'm assuming this guy will still benefit from this cover against us, from this location.
Into the action.
But I definitely like this better as a defensive move. Yeah, you gotta get out of here. Well, it doesn't... I don't think it helps us too much to shoot at the guy who's definitely not going to try to harm me. Alright, the math was okay on that. Oh, Berserk removed. That's not what I want to see. Okay, so he has 2 people in his neural network. Gets plus 10 aim for each enemy in the network. That's interesting. So he's a very good shot right now. We could have him damage this guy, which I think will remove his Overwatch. I mean, that's certainly how it works in the base game. The stun is for 1 to 2 actions, not 1 to 2 turns. So that guy was stunned for 1 action and then took his other action. So I could stupor the Hitman first, get him in the network, and then have a slightly higher aim bonus. Oh, but now I don't necessarily need to, because he is stunned for his entire next turn. So maybe what I want to do instead is... I don't have a subdue... Yeah, I think I'm going to try to just shoot this Legionnaire, because otherwise he's going to shoot one of us. Sorry, buddy. Feel bad about it. Alright, you can definitely not subdue that guy. But you can punch him really hard.
Fracturing!
And then, yeah, definitely go take some cover. So the Hitman will be stunned for his entire turn, and then we'll be able to subdue this guy. Oh, hold on. No, yeah, here we go. I mean, I hope that we can deal with this Hitman before he gets his next turn. I guess I don't really have a great plan. So I still have 2 enemies in my neural network. The guy who's unconscious... Yeah, the guy who's unconscious still counts. So there's another incentive there to not kill people. Killing people removes them from the neural network.
Hostile subdued.
Okay, we got there eventually. It's not totally ideal. Alright, reinforcements imminent. You need to run for here. Geez, I guess just
moving.
I'd really have loved to get behind the fruit stand here. Alright, after entering, new enemies will be added to the timeline, but I mean, all we have to do is get out, right? Reinforcements will show up before her next turn, so I guess we just get everybody into a place where they can get out next turn, but then throw up some Overwatches, right?
One angle covered.
Alright, you really can't do that, unfortunately. So you just run to here and do preparation? You absolutely get the hell out immediately. Okay, VIP rescued. Look how good we are at our job. Wow, good shot. Yes, you should leave quickly. Okay, we can all make it out now, right? Hopefully evac is not an action in this game, because it wasn't in XCOM 2. If you just got someone in the zone, they could go. Okay, cool.
Moving quickly.
Oh boy. Well, we got all this defense, you know? Look at how good we are at dodging. Alright, so unfortunately... You know what? You're super fast, though. The momentum move might be sufficient. I'm gonna go ahead and crippling blow the adder. I think we can probably still make it out. Yeah, Zephyr was a good choice.
Not much ammunition.
Alright, and then Verge, just get the hell out of here. Don't worry about your ammunition. Why will you not... There we go.
Over.
He seemed reluctant. Okay, that was a little messy. That could have been better. Lightly wounded and gravely wounded. From 4 captured enemies, there's an 80% chance to earn 20 intel. Okay, so it seems like you're going for 5 captures on each mission. Ideally. So I guess this means Godmother's going to take a Scar, which is not... I'm not happy about that. Godmother is definitely my favorite unit, because the shotgun is my favorite unit. So 35 Illyrium, we got ourselves some modular armor, and yeah, Unrest has risen the way it looked like it was going to rise. Oh, an agent has earned a promotion.
Broke out in honor of Mayor Nightingale, whose recent death still roils City 31.
I'm sure you already know your way around the armory. Each of you has a locker here. But it's also where we announce field promotions, which I'm doing now.
Another bit of ribbon.
Congratulations. I realize now there should have been a cake.
There should always be a cake. That's not even a thinker, man. Alright. Promotion to rank Deputy Agent has unlocked Alpha Strike. Godmother fires the shotgun during the breach and will take their turn earlier on the timeline. Godmother also gains 1 bonus action on the first turn. Yo, that seems very good. Alright, agents earn XP on missions. Each new rank provides increased stats, and some unlock new abilities and new training programs. At certain levels, you have a choice between 2 abilities. So you can see here, based on the length of these trees, you can get a sense of how long they intend the campaign to be. This is not going to be anywhere near as long as, like, an XCOM 2 game. Okay, cool. We got the thing. I don't need to click that or anything. It is already... Alright. You. Levitation. Lifts an enemy into the air, removing their cover bonuses during the breach. Yo, that seems great, actually. And it also cancels alert and aggressive. Verge is looking to be a very powerful unit in his own right. The extra action from Momentum can be spent to prevent damage from the next attack instead of moving. Okay, that was straight up an ability from XCOM 2, and it was very good there, so I expect it to be roughly as good here. Especially since you have so much more control over the way that the enemies take their turns. And there's going to be a lot of interesting opportunities to make use of that. Alright, let's have a look at a couple more things here.
When you aren't on mission, you need to maintain your skills, physical and mental. Training is the place to do it. It's also where you can adapt to any lasting wounds received in the field. And since the wounded walk among us...
You mean me, right? I think he means me.
Now is the best time to deal with it. After all, the life of your squad mates relies on your successful recovery. So don't let those wounds linger. You'll pay for them in the long term.
Alright, each agent has their own list of training programs they can do, including healing scars, improving stats, and even adding new abilities. Let's heal Godmother first. No offense, Cherub, but I think it's probably a good idea for us to focus a couple units up the XP tree as quickly as possible so that they can shepherd the weaker units through. So yeah, let's try to remove this scar. And we may just send a wounded Cherub out on the thing. So our Anarchy and Unrest changed. We saw that. We have new supply items. Extra padding, which gives +1 HP. Infiltrator Weave, which Ooh, the agent can use event breach points. That's interesting. And 50 dodge. I'm assuming that's a 50% chance to dodge attacks that would otherwise hit. The infiltrator weave is definitely interesting. So, let's make... Okay, we don't have the Illyrium for the fancy armor. Let's make modular weapons a priority, or... New supply items... Yeah, let's make modular weapons our next priority. And I think we're going to leave... we're going to not have an agent on this, because we definitely want to have 4 people in the field. Okay, it gets done in 1 turn either way. And this is without anybody even doing any spec ops. Which is maybe fine. As much as I would like to be able to pull a bunch of credits from glad handing, we're a little... stretched a little thin at the moment. I think this is probably where we're going to leave it for today. So this should be a little bit of a taste to give you an idea of what we're in for here in Chimera Squad. The intent with this series is that there will be a new hour of gameplay every weekday, but we're starting this series at like 1 a.m. on a Friday, which obviously it's going to be a little weird. There will definitely be episodes through the weekend, so just check back for those, and we'll see you then.